this motherfucking hoodie. The straps is not in the actual hood. It's in the damn. I don't know why my nigga made these like these. But I hate that, man. Snax on Sports. I'm back with another one, man. What's going on with y'all? What y'all on, gang? What y'all on? What y'all on? What y'all on? I'm back with another episode. You feel me? And we're gonna talk about these conference finals, man. We on and popping. You understand me? We on and popping with the conference finals, man. So let's get it in, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, man. You feel me? As I get situated in the car. You know what I'm saying? My bad. Let me do this real quick. Yeah. Oh, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Just seeing what y'all on, seeing who gonna slide in the room. You know what I'm saying? Usually my shit get popping about 5 or 10 minutes in. You know what I mean? Let's see how it go tonight. But yeah. Timothy Blocks was good. What's good, Timothy Blocks? Give your boy a like, man. You dig? What y'all on? What y'all on tonight, man? I'm back with another episode, man. Finna get it in, big dog. You know what I'm saying? And really let the people know what it is, what it ain't, you know what I mean? And what it was. You know what I'm talking about? All right. Conference finals. We got the conference finals are set in the Western Conference and in the Eastern Conference. You feel me? For the NBA playoffs. In the West, we got OKC Thunder going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. You feel me? And in the East, we got the New York Knicks up against the Indiana Pacers. I think that East series is gonna be epic. I think they both gonna be epic, but that East series, you know what I mean, that Eastern Conference series in between the Pacers and the Knicks, that's gonna be epic. Florencio Santos, what up, gang? Good looking, man, on the subscription and all that, man. You feel me? It's much love. Much love. Salute to all my peoples, man. Out here, you know what I mean, showing support to the boy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Right on, big dog. Right on, big dog. Gabriel K say sick hoodie. Right on, my boy. My boy Sco Dylan Sesco, Joshua and Dylan Scott. He got the Vert Life. Y'all go check him out on YouTube too. He got the his channel was called Something or Other Tour. You know what I mean? He just be, you know what I mean? He be doing like he be traveling around the different sports venues, you know what I mean? Just documenting the history of it and all that, you know what I'm saying? But this his brand, Vert Life. You know what I'm saying? So shout out my boy, man. You feel me? But yeah, though. So let's get into this, man. The conference finals, man. Is set. And yeah, so the Indiana Pacers versus the New York Knicks. I just got a feeling that's gonna be an epic series. 7-game series, 6 or 7. And it's gonna go down. That series is gonna go down. Man, you got two of the clutchest players in the league. You feel me? Jalen Hurts going against Tyrese Halliburton. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't get more clutch than that. Both of them dudes perform in big moments. You know what I'm saying? And it's just dope because it's different. You know what I mean? Boston ain't in there. You know, the Bucks ain't in there, even though I like Giannis. You know what I'm saying? But the Bucks ain't in there. Who's some of the other typicals from the East? Miami always kind of like, you know, they kind of in and out, like they good, but then they, you know, a little bit below average, then they good, but then they might have a mediocre regular season, and then once the playoffs get here, they take off. You know what I'm saying? So who you got over there in the East that usually really be doing their thing? The Celtics always is in contention. You know what I mean? Indiana been climbing up the past couple years. New York has been a solid team the past few years. Chicago, no. The Bucks, they should be a little better. They're another team. You know, the Nets, nah. Orlando, Atlanta. I mean, you know, what can I say about that series, bro? Starts on Wednesday, first and foremost. You feel me? The Eastern Conference Finals starts Wednesday night. Who has home court advantage? Who was the higher seed? I believe the Knicks were the higher seed, were they? So I think the Knicks got home court advantage. But that series gonna be epic, bro. That series gonna be epic. It's just gonna be a whole bunch of big shots being made. You know what I'm saying? And all that. So in the previous round, in the second round, I had both the Eastern Conference teams that made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I had both of them losing. You know what I mean? I had Boston winning in 6 against the Knicks, and I had Cleveland winning in like 6 or 7 against the Pacers. And both of those didn't happen. Now, halfway through the series, I changed my pick. You know what I'm saying? In both of those series, but I'm just being honest, you know what I mean, and being transparent and saying my original pick for both of the teams that made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, my original picks was that both of them wouldn't be here. They both would be sent home, and that it would be it would be Celtics, Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals. And the thing about it is, now that I'm saying that, right? Now that I'm saying that, it reminds me of something that I said earlier in the year and, towards the end of the regular season and just, throughout the year, which was that if the Boston Celtics or the Cleveland Cavaliers if either one of those teams don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, their season is a failure. It was a failure. Straight up. Because the way both of those teams dominated the Eastern Conference, in particular Cleveland, and I mean, Boston, their domination comes from the fact that they're the champions. So, it doesn't matter what they did in the Eastern Conference and, during the regular season, as long as they made the playoffs, at a pretty decent seeding, when you're the champion, you got a little bit of leeway to, have a little bit of slack off in the regular season and still get the benefit of the doubt, still be given the benefit of the doubt that you're going to be able to get right when it's time to get right, because you've shown that, you know what I'm saying? But and so yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Is that, the way both of those series went in the Eastern Conference Final in the second round, total choke jobs from both the Celtics and the from both the Celtics and the Cavs. You know what I mean? They started out losing the series in similar fashion. Both teams had home court advantage and was up big in games 1 and 2 at home. You know what I'm saying? It ended up blowing the lead and the games down the stretch. It ended up being down 0-2. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a total choke job, you know what I mean? And both of those teams. Now, I understand Jason Tatum ended up getting hurt towards the end of the series, but the game where he got hurt, he played a good game that game, but they were going to lose that game. Like, he got hurt with like a minute and a half or like 2 minutes to go. They was down 9. So they was getting ready to lose that game and go down 3-1. You know what I mean? And then they end up winning game 5 without him. You know what I'm saying? And then they end up blowing them out in game 6 at home. The Knicks did. You know what I'm saying? So regardless, the fact that Jason Tatum ended up getting hurt in the series, although it obviously decreases their chances of winning the series, they was already down 3-1 basically by the time he got hurt. So, yeah. But yeah, total choke job, bro. Like totally unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? If you do what you're supposed to do, I'm talking about the Celtics and the Cavaliers, and play up to the potential that you play to the majority of the year, you should be in the conference finals. There's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be in the conference finals. Period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a failure. It's a disappointment for both those teams. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it happens. You know what I mean? But you gotta live with that, man. You got to own up to that, and you got to live with that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, because the thing about it is, it's like the way they played throughout the year, both those teams, being I think the number 1 and 2 seeds respectively. Um, there's no reason why they shouldn't at minimum get as far as the conference finals. You know what I mean? Like you were the better team. You know what I'm saying? At least on paper. And at least what you showed throughout the year, you were the better team. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's no reason that both of those teams, the Celtics and the Knicks, the Celtics and the Cavaliers, there's no reason why they should be at home right now. You know what I mean? So, and the Celtics gonna get a little bit more leeway, obviously for sure, because for one, they're coming off a championship. They just won a championship last year, so they get some leeway with that. And then, not to mention, they're always in contention year in and year out to go to the finals and represent the Eastern Conference in the NBA finals. You know what I mean? How many Eastern Conference finals have they been to out of the last 8 years? I think they've been like 6 or some shit like that, 6, 7. You know what I'm saying? So the Celtics are always there. So they're going to get a little bit of a pass. And as far as next year, I don't expect the Celtics to be they still gonna be a good team. They should be a good team. They're a deep team. You know what I'm saying? It's probably gonna be some changes here or there, but Jason Tatum is not gonna be there for the majority of the year, if not the whole year. You know what I'm saying? Because he tore his Achilles tendon, and that's an 8 to 12 month injury. So at the earliest 8 months, that's gonna put him at January, February. You know what I mean? Around that time, we approaching the All-Star break, and once the All-Star break is done, once the All-Star break is done, then it's time to gear up for the playoffs, for the playoff run. You know what I mean? And start getting prepared for that. So, and for him, if he comes back around that time, he'll just be just now starting his season and getting acclimated to to the season. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna take him a couple weeks, you know what I mean, to get up to par, maybe a month, you know what I mean, just to catch up to where everybody's at. So I say that to say that I wouldn't be surprised. I still look at the Celtics as they're going to be a good team next year. But will they? Do I see them being a top 2 seed or something like that? Nah. I see them making the top 6, 4, 5, 6, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And just seeing what they can do. But they're going to take a little bit of a step back next year just because they're not going to have Jason Tatum for the majority of the year. If, like I said, if not the whole year. You feel me? So they all of that being said, you know what I mean, they get a little bit of a pass. Not a, for lack of a better word to use, but yeah, their season was disappointing for sure. You know what I'm saying? They choked it down. Now the Cavaliers, on the other hand, it's just gonna be one of them things to where they just gonna have to prove it. You know what I mean? Because now they're gonna have the reputation of, okay, yeah, they're gonna be a good team in a regular season, but what are they gonna do when it gets to the playoffs? That's what it's gonna be. And the best player on their team, like, that's a part of his resume. You got to remember, Donovan Mitchell came to the Cleveland Cavaliers from the Utah Jazz. I talked about this in one or two of my last lives. Okay. Donovan Mitchell had some great years with the Utah Jazz. One or two of those years over there, similar to this year with the Cavaliers, the Utah Jazz were the 1 seed. 1 seed, 2 seed, or whatever, but they never got past the second round. And so they kept being a good team in the regular season and then getting to the playoffs and getting bounced. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers right now is they're going to have this, you know, they're going to have that same moniker, so to speak, of, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're a good team, but we don't fully believe you or believe in you until you make a deep run into the playoffs. And Donovan Mitchell, you got some explaining to do. You got some work to do, because they're going to say Donovan Mitchell is just good enough to get you to the second round, and that's it. Like, Donovan Mitchell has superstar quality. He has an exciting game, you know what I'm saying? But there's still something about it to where I feel like if Donovan Mitchell was the number 2 on your team, now you got a bona fide championship contender. If Donovan Mitchell is the number 2 and there's somebody better than him on the team that's the number 1, then I believe you have a team that is a real true championship contender, because what Donovan Mitchell is showing right now is that he can only get you so far. You know what I mean? And he's still young enough and still got time to show and prove that that he can you know, that he can, you know, take, you know, be the number 1 on a team that goes deep into the playoffs, makes the finals, or win a championship. Like, he can still prove that he can do that, but up until this point, it seems like I said, he got number 1 talent, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? But it's still like, you know what I mean? Like if he was the number 2 on your team, then you got action. But you know, it's just one of those things, bro. So, but those are. I just wanted to say that because I have been saying that, you know, from the midway point of the season on, like especially once the playoffs started. Like, dude, there's no reason for the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers to not meet up in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, the pathway is, you know what I mean? It's right there. You feel me? So both those teams choked that down, choked it away, blew it, disappointment. There's no other excuse. There's no way to slice it. You feel me? You feel me? So, but so now, but for the teams that's still here in the East, Knicks, Pacers. What's my prediction on that? What's my prediction? These 4 teams that are left, I got like nothing against Any one of them. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be mad to see any one of these teams win a championship. But from the East, I will be rooting for the Knicks. I'll be rooting for the Knicks. Like I said, if the Pacers win the series, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Keith Mahler says Pacers, let's go. Taking Knicks out in 6. Okay. For me, I just like the Knicks story. I like the team. You know what I mean? It's the Knicks. It's Madison Square Garden. You know what I'm saying? I just like what the Knicks got going on right now. But if the Pacers win it, if the Pacers win the series, I'm not mad. I like the fact that Tyrese Halliburton has played his best basketball in the biggest moments of the year in the playoffs. Not only that, he did it, and he's doing it right after this report came out where, you know, his peers and players voted him the most overrated player in the league. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that he's doing it. He's saying, oh, I'm overrated? Okay. Watch this. You know what I'm saying? All you other motherfuckers that's supposed to be rated over me while y'all at home watching the games and I'm still playing. You feel me? If that's what overrated is, I'll be overrated. You feel me? I'm all good with being overrated. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel him. I would be in the same boat. I would feel the same way. If being in the Eastern Conference Finals for the second year in a row as a very young player, if that's overrated, then I'll take overrated. I'll take it. You feel me? Come on. Keith Mahler said, I'll be overrated for one of them checks. Come on. You feel me? Come on. That's what it is. That's what it is, man. So I'm saying all that to say, I wouldn't be mad to see the Pacers winning, but I gotta be honest. I'm a Warriors fan, so you know what I mean. At the end of the day, it really don't matter to me. My team ain't in it no more. So, but as far as the teams that are left, when it comes to the East, I will be rooting for the New York Knicks. You did. So I'm gonna say Knicks in 7. I'm gonna say Knicks in 7. You feel me? I'm gonna say Knicks in 7. But one thing I do want to say is a few lives ago, man. I want to say a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean? My chat was. I had a few Boston Celtics fans up in this thing. They ain't been showing up lately. You know what I'm saying? Where them Celtics fans at? You know what I mean? I forgot who it was, but somebody was. I had a Celtics fan on here that was talking real big, real reckless. Like, yeah, they ain't gonna be able to do nothing with Porzingis, and he's a mismatch for any team, and this and that, and you know, this team ain't gonna be able to match up with us. That team ain't gonna be able to match up with us. We finna repeat and all this. And what happened? What happened? You feel me? Keith Mahler said the Denver OKC Game 7 felt kind of rigged. I mean, I didn't look at it like that, but you know, the whole rig thing is like, I understand sometimes where we come from, where people come from with the whole rig thing, but people gotta understand, man, like when we're talking about things being rigged in the NFL and the NBA and stuff like that, like y'all gotta like things have to be like different owners and all that have to be like in cahoots in order to pull stuff off like that. And then in order to keep it like under wraps. Do you know if something happens to where it's exposed that one of these leagues are rigging games and all that stuff, like you'll never be able to get your credibility back ever. You know what I mean? So these like I don't really think nothing is rigged like that. I mean, I think sometimes referees, they may give certain calls, or if a series is going a certain way, you know what I mean, it may kind of be subconsciously you call a particular game a certain way to, I don't know, but um when it comes to rigging stuff, you know I'm not talking about somebody acting alone, going rogue. How Tim Donaghy did. You know what I'm saying? NBA hype. What's going down? Uh, but I'm talking about in order to rig stuff, like they were saying that the Dallas like the NBA rigged the draft for the Dallas Mavericks because they wanted to repay them for repay them for what? They made that trade on their own. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nothing to repay them for. Two, in order for something like that to happen, bro, like the owners have to all be like in cahoots with this, because the owners is who run the league, bro. Like the commissioners of these leagues work for the owners. The owners is, the owners are who controls everything. So that means that all these other owners are going to conspire to allow for the Dallas Mavericks to get the number one pick. Like for what? Like why would they, why would they do that? You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing when it comes to rigging and all that. I understand though, you know what I mean? Because when certain calls happen and referees blow calls, or we rooting for a certain team and our team lose, you know what I mean? We got all these emotions going through us and stuff like that, man. Um, you know, it's easy to go to that, you know what I'm saying? But I don't really see nothing being like, it may be certain things happening, you know what I mean? But I don't see things just being just outright rigged. Like they're writing the script, you know what I'm saying, before like a game is even played type shit. You know what I'm saying? NBA Hype said, which is the hardest series between the West and the East? I got a feeling that the depth of the Pacers will beat the Brunson-dependent Knicks, and the experience of the Wolves will beat the OKC in 7. So, for me, the hardest series between the two, that's a hard one, bro. Because I just feel like the Knicks and the Pacers is going to be epic. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's going 7. I got the Knicks in 7. But OKC and the hardest series, I'm gonna say Knicks and Pacers. I'm gonna say Knicks and Pacers. You know what I'm saying? Um. So yeah. Keith Mahler says Steph had been healthy, your team would still be in it and is a pretender. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree that if Steph didn't get hurt, the Warriors would. I mean, just as a fan, it's easy for me to say. I'm a little biased, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I believe that the team would have, the Warriors would have won the series. I truly believe that. But definitely, if Steph wouldn't have been, even if we wouldn't have won the series, if Steph wouldn't have got hurt, it definitely wouldn't have ended in 5. it would have been a 6 or 7 game series for sure. You feel me? But fucking yeah, I think if Steph don't get hurt, the Warriors win that series. And I mean, the one game that he played, he didn't even play the whole game, and they won. They won that game. You know what I'm saying? And he only played 13 minutes. He had 13 points in 13 minutes. Like, he had that look in his eye. You know what I'm saying? He was getting ready to do something special that game. And also, just the way of just the landscape, just the way that it's looking, how shit is panning out. You can't tell me that the Warriors wouldn't have had a realistic shot at winning another championship if it's OKC and Golden State instead of OKC Minnesota. You can't tell me that. I'm not saying that they would have for sure beat OKC, but they could have beat OKC. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up. You know what I mean? Get back to the finals, and then you got either the Pacers or the Knicks. They can beat either one of those teams. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that sucks about it. But I agree. But I disagree that Ant is a pretender. Ant ain't no pretender. Ant ain't no pretender. You feel me? Ant is the real deal, big dog. Straight up. So I agree. I halfway agree with you. You know what I'm saying? About Steph, but I disagree that Ant is a pretender. He already, you know what I'm saying? Anthony Edwards is that dude, but that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? You entitled to your opinion. NBA hype said it's not rigged, it's just a little dodgy, but the Mavs are now a dangerous team with flag. Yeah. Danny May, what's going on with you, boy? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with Dallas, if Cooper Flag come in there, and if Kyrie, we got to remember too, Kyrie also just had a catastrophic injury. Did he have Achilles too? He was either Achilles or ACL or something like that. But it's another one of those 8 to 12 month injury. So he's gonna miss a good portion of the season next year. We all know what's up with Anthony Davis. You know what I mean? Like, he's known for getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna get hurt. If they could find a way to be healthy for the most part, and once Kyrie come back, if he is still like the Kyrie that we know to be and able to stay healthy, then yeah, they can be an issue. You know what I mean? But they shit just gonna depend on, like, I gotta see them like stay healthy, man. You know what I'm saying? NBA hype says Ant is not a pretender. He's a real deal. Straight up. Ant the real deal. You feel me? NBA hype says, what are the chances of Giannis going to the Warriors, or where could he go? So, in order for the Warriors to get Giannis, you know what I'm saying, they would have to, because the one thing about all this shit, bro, is like the money got to match up. So what's Giannis getting? Like, I don't know. I know he definitely getting 50 or 60 a year, something like that. So it's going to have to be something like, you definitely going to have to probably, you definitely have to trade Kuminga and probably another young player, either Pajinsky or Moody. You know what I mean? And then you're going to have to give up either Jimmy Butler or Draymond Green. And you're going to have to give up some draft picks. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's going to take. So by the time Giannis get over here, you're going to be kind of slight way gutted. Yeah, it'll be Giannis and Steph, but either Jimmy and or Draymond is going to be gone. Both of them could be gone. You know what I'm saying? Kuminga is definitely going to be gone. You know what I'm saying? And or Pajinsky or Moody is going to be gone. You know what I'm saying? And you're probably going to lose 2 or 3 future draft picks. So that's what it's going to take. Just in my, in my prediction, I would love to see it, but I would only love to see it if we could somehow still keep Draymond Green. You know what I'm saying? Like if it could be Steph, Giannis, and Draymond, you know what I'm saying? Then I would accept that. I don't really want to give up Jimmy either. I fuck with Jimmy, but it's just that, Jimmy is still um he's still newer to the situation. So you feel me? Like if it's one that I'm gonna get rid of out of Jimmy and Draymond, I'm gonna get rid of Jimmy just because, you know what I mean, Draymond got that pedigree. We know what he is, his contribution to winning in this organization and on this team is proven. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I understand Jimmy, and he's a better offensive player and all that, but you could also see that Jimmy is slowing down a little bit athletically. You could just see it. You know what I mean? That's the reason why when he drive to the basket, you feel me? Chantel Watson, what's going on? That's the reason why when he drive to the basket, when he get there, he passing out a lot because he keep thinking this his shot gonna get blocked. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I ain't really, you know what I mean, for me, because I fuck with Giannis. But yeah, if we could keep Draymond, then I'll be up for that. You know what I mean? I'll be up for that. But really, to be honest, I think a solid year of a whole year, not a solid year. I mean to say a complete year, an off season, a training camp, and a whole year of Steph, Jimmy, Dre, and everybody else that's around it. You know what I mean? They can position themselves better next year. You feel me? So once Jimmy came over, everything improved. Steph went back to playing like an MVP caliber player. The team's defense went up. The offense got better. Jimmy brought an element that we didn't have on the team, which is like somebody that could get to the line, you know what I'm saying, and score that way, because they need that. You know what I'm saying? They needed that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I'm saying a whole year, of that. You know what I'm saying? With a training camp and off season. So instead of being a 6, 7 seed, you know what I mean, fighting at the end of the year to try to not be in the play-in, if they start from the beginning of the season, like so once Jimmy came, I think it was like 26-7 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that's a team right there. Like they were one of the top 3 to 5 best teams in the league from the time Jimmy came to the rest of the season. So if we can get that for the entire season, the Warriors can definitely be a top 4 seed next year. You a top 4 seed, then you guarantee yourself, even if you're the 4 seed, 3, whatever, you guarantee yourself at least one round of a series where you got home court advantage. You know what I mean? Not saying that guarantees you're going to win that round. It's just when you play better and you've had a better season and you have a higher seeding, you just feel better about your chances. You know what I'm saying? So even though whether you playing at home or away, it definitely is an advantage for the home team, but we obviously we know that don't guarantee a victory. But I'm just saying, you just feel better. You feel me? Versus if you're a team that's a play-in team and barely got into the playoffs and this and that, and when a situation arises in the playoffs, you may in your head subconsciously go back to thinking, well, we is that type of team that's what I mean, a average, barely kind of like, you know what I mean, getting over the hump kind of team. You know what I'm saying? And that type of thinking can, you know what I mean, seep into whether you win a game or lose a game versus, like I said, if you've been playing well all year, then you can lean on that. you get into a situation in the playoffs. Look, we've been playing like this all year, bro. We know what we is. Come on, y'all. So it's just overall better to have a better record. You know what I mean? So that way you can have a higher seating and just give yourself a better chance to go farther. You know what I mean? And play less pressure-packed games towards the end of the year when you could really be, you know, kind of like cruising a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So NBA Hype said, okay, let me see. Tyus Jones or Chris Paul to the Dallas 1-year deal to replace Kyrie until he's healthy. Giannis is 52 per year. They could give up Kuminga, Moody, Looney, and future firsts. Oh, I mean, I'd be with that. If they can find a way to get Giannis and not have to give up Draymond or Jimmy, that's a steal. That's a steal, and I would do that. You know what I'm saying? I would do that for sure. You get Steph, Jimmy, Giannis, and Draymond. Oh, we back. We back. For sure, for sure. Oh yeah. Yeah, that'll be that shit right there. Yeah, I'll be all for that. You know what I mean? But the likelihood. But Giannis, as far as where I think he'll end up, first off, let me say, I'm not gonna be surprised if Giannis like just don't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised at that, just because that's the type of, you know what I mean? Like y'all see he on Twitter playing around with the shit. You feel me? Everybody in the room, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in the chat, give your boy a like one time. You feel me? If you up in this thing, you feel me? But yeah, he all on Twitter, you know what I mean? Playing around with it, you know what I'm saying? Having fun with it. And I think the way Giannis has did the way he doing that, by like joking around and having fun with it, you know what I'm saying? On Twitter, I think that's the perfect way to be. Don't be so serious about it. Like it ain't that fucking serious. You know what I'm saying? And he know motherfuckers gonna bite into that, and so he just having fun with it. You know what I mean? Talking about one of his favorite places to go for I forget what it was, for food or something, was I think New York or something like that. So then, because he know motherfuckers gonna say, oh, okay, he trying to go to New York. Fuck, man. What the fuck is you doing, Jada? I done fucking picked a scab on my fucking leg that I should not have picked. Now I done kind of reopen that motherfucker again. But yeah, man. Okay. It's a cool little scab. But Patrick says I like the New York roster though. Yeah, so for Giannis, man, I would want to see him. I wouldn't mind seeing him on the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind seeing him on the Knicks. Definitely wouldn't mind seeing him on the Warriors. Obviously, that's my team. Patrick said got to be the East. You know, Miami. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm not gonna be surprised, man, if Giannis ends up staying right where he at, man. It just wouldn't surprise me. I hate that this hoodie don't have no fucking string or anything. It just wouldn't surprise me to see Giannis stay right there in Miami, man. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that. That's one of the ones, you know what I'm saying? I'm really not sure. You feel me? I can't even I can't even predict that for sure, for sure. You feel me? But Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean? But so yeah. So for that series though, man, I got in the Eastern Conference, I got the Knicks. I got the Knicks in 7. So I got the Knicks representing the East in the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay. Now let me go to the West. In the West, we got OKC Thunder against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Um, this a dope matchup because it's like this the matchup of like the two young bulls. You know what I'm saying? The two young necks. You know what I mean? The two young ones who got necks. I mean they got now really. You know what I mean? But y'all know what I mean. You feel me? But Shea versus Ant. You feel me? Um, Shea gonna win the MVP this year. Ant is probably gonna win an MVP or two in his career. You feel me? So um this gonna be a good series too because it's gonna be like they both got good teams, but I feel like even though Shea's gonna win the MVP this year, I feel like he has a better team around him. You know what I'm saying? Um Overall. And got a good team around him too. I'm not saying that he don't. I'm just saying I think OKC's team, you know what I mean, on the overall tip, is a little better. You know what I'm saying? Than the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I kind of look at this series as like Ant and the Timberwolves, like a solo versus a team. That's kind of how I look at it. You know what I mean? Even though, so if you wanted to say, you could say that, you know, like I said, because Shea is gonna win the MVP and all that, you can look at the OKC as a solo, as far as they have a solo superstar. But Chet Holmgren is not to be, you know, like he ain't chopped liver. You know what I'm saying? He's, you know, to me, he got the same kind of like skill set as like a Wembanyama. He got like the same skill set. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes is athletic freaks, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, but man, yeah. So I look at Minnesota Timberwolves versus OKC Thunder as the like back in the day when it was the Pistons versus the Bulls. You know what I mean? Before Phil Jackson became the head coach and kind of like tied it all in and kind of made it more of a like a team thing with the triangle and all that. That's kind of how I look at this series, like how it was Jordan and the Bulls versus the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they had Isaiah. You know what I mean? But the Pistons was more of a team, like, you know what I'm saying? To where the Bulls were like super highly Jordan driven as far as their success. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so I look at the Minnesota Timberwolves being the Chicago Bulls, Anthony Edwards being Michael Jordan, not comparing them. I'm just saying the similarities and what I'm saying. And the like the Detroit Pistons being the OKC Thunder. You know what I'm saying? The team that is more team oriented and probably go a little bit deeper, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So now with that being said, I don't know who to pick. I just think it's gonna be another good series. I wouldn't be surprised either way, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm saying. Um, yeah, either way, I wouldn't be surprised, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta make a pick. I gotta predict. You know what I'm saying? So let me think about this. I'm going to say that who am I gonna pick to win this series? Okay, I'll say what I want to see. Shout out to OKC. Shout out to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. That's my little cousin. I always say that because we got the same last name, Alexander. You know what I'm saying? Um, Shout out to them. You know what I mean? He getting ready to win the MVP. But I want to see the Timberwolves in the finals. Just because I think that Wolves versus Knicks, from my predictions, you know what I mean? I think Wolves versus Knicks is a little bit of a juicier matchup. You know what I'm saying? Uh, that's just how I look at it. You feel me? I think it's a bit of a juicier matchup. So I want the Timberwolves to win. You know what I'm saying? And that right there would definitely, like last year is when Anthony Anderson, not this past year, not this year right here, but last NBA season is the season where Anthony Edwards kind of like officially arrived. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, I'm here. You know what I mean? So this is like his second season, like on the scene, and even the seasons, the few seasons before that, he was on a come up, on the rise. But that was like the Ja Morant years when he looked like he was getting ready to be that next. But I'm saying, as far as like hey, he's officially arrived and he's here now, that happened last year. So this is like his second official year at the status where he's at. But so I'm saying that to say, if Anthony Edwards is able to lift the Minnesota Timberwolves past the OKC Thunder, who was the number one seed and who has the MVP of the league, if he's able to lift them past OKC and go to the NBA Finals, I mean, he's just going to continue to furthermore cement himself as you know, one of the best players in the league right now. And I know he talking about he don't want to be the face of the league. Brody, you ain't gonna be able to. You ain't the. You don't pick whether you are or are not the face of the league. The league picks the face of the league. You know what I'm saying? By your play, like by how you playing and your character and your personality, your charisma, and all that. You know what I mean? And for Anthony Edwards, that's a check. Check, 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 check. So, my brother, you get ready to be the face of the league, whether you like it or not, big dog. You know what I'm saying? So off of I just convinced myself. So off of saying that, it's just that I got respect for both teams. And I got respect for OKC. You know what I mean? They won 68 games this year, so you got to have respect for that. But um, I'm gonna pick the Timberwolves. I'm gonna pick that boy. You understand me? I'm gonna pick Anthony Edwards to go it on and and push the T-Wolves past OKC. I'm gonna say T-Wolves in 6 or 7 for sure. I'm gonna say T-Wolves in 6. T-Wolves in 6. I'm gonna say T-Wolves in 6. You feel me? I know that's like a what? OKC only gonna win 2 games. I'm predicting it. I'm predicting it. Mook Mook Mookie is watching. Mookie's watching. Wolves winning would be slept on. Lake would be Wolves winning would be slapped on Lakers organization's face. Why you say that? Why you say that? But yeah, no, I'm picking the Timberwolves to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder in 6 games. Okay. Series starts tomorrow, Tuesday. So I'm gonna be watching that. But I'm going to. We got 2 teams that's still playing that were in this position last year. In the Eastern Conference, the Indiana Pacers were in the Western Conference. Were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. In the Western Conference, the Minnesota Timberwolves were in the Western Conference Finals last year. You know what I'm saying? So these are 2 teams that have some experience now. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're young, they have some experience. Both the Knicks and the Thunder, this is their first time being in the conference finals. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm saying? It's just who is the better team and who plays better is gonna win. But it stuff like that can come into factor. You know what I'm saying? So it don't hurt to mention it. But what I was gonna say, yeah, I'm going for the Wolves, and I believe the Wolves gonna win in 6 or 7, but I'm gonna say 6 because that's what I originally said. You know what I'm saying? And I think Anthony Edwards gonna have a big series. You feel me? OKC, if they lose this series, which I'm predicting, it'll still be a good season for them. It'll be an improvement from last year. You know what I'm saying? Last year, they went to the second round and got bounced out. This year, they went to the third round of Western Conference Finals and got bounced out. So they still improving. You know what I mean? Obviously, they won't look at it that way, but it's the truth. You feel me? But yeah. I say that, I say that because hold on, bro. Fucker. Bugs. I'm over here by this little creek and shit. I'm finna go. I'm over here, but I'm over here. Hey y'all, I'm over here at Facebook. This where I'm at right now. I'm in Menlo Park, California. This is the Facebook headquarters. So I'm gonna turn the camera around. So that this building y'all see right here, this is Facebook. Well, you can't really. It's dark now, so, but this Facebook right here. All this right here. That y'all see, this is the Facebook headquarters, Meta, Facebook and Instagram. You feel me? That's where I'm at right now. I'm at Facebook on their ass. You feel me? But yeah, I'm over here at Facebook right now, chilling. You feel me? But yeah, man. It's gonna be. I like this year's conference finals in both conferences because we're gonna have a new champion. You know what I mean? And it's just different. Now, same thing with the Western Conference. Same thing with the West. I got Knicks. I got Agam or Agam. My bad if I mispronounce the name. But yeah, I got Knicks in. What did I say? Did I say I got Knicks in 7? I said Knicks in 7. But so in the Western Conference, both the teams that made it to the conference finals in OKC, Denver, I picked OKC. So I was right about that. And then for the Timberwolves and Warriors, obviously I'm a Warriors fan, so I picked the Warriors. So I was wrong about that, but obviously only because Steph got hurt. But nonetheless, I was wrong. So out of the 4 teams that made it to the conference finals, I only picked one of them to be here. You feel me? I picked the Warriors to be here over the Timberwolves. I was wrong. I picked the Celtics to be here over the Knicks. I was wrong. And I picked the Cavaliers to be here, to still be here over the Pacers. And I was wrong. But I was right about OKC over Denver. So that's just a little side note I wanted to throw in there. But yeah, I'm just hoping to see good games, good series, which I know both of them will be. And I'm hoping to see Timberwolves Knicks finals, NBA finals. You know what I'm saying? And it sound weird, but it sound dope. Minnesota Timberwolves versus the New York Knicks in the NBA finals. Like, you know what I mean? I'm used to it either being the Warriors or the Lakers or the Cavs or the Spurs, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, to be saying, you know, the New York Knicks versus the Minnesota Timberwolves in the NBA finals, that's just crazy. Agam says Knicks are beating the Pacers. Yeah, that's what I got too. I got Knicks in 7. I definitely got Knicks in 7. You know what I'm saying? That's a for sure right there. Do I still got? Oh yeah, I got a little something. That's a for sure right there. So those are my predictions for the conference finals. I got the Knicks beating the Pacers in 7 games. Jalen Brunson, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And I got the Timberwolves beating the Oklahoma City Thunder in 6 games. You know what I'm saying? To advance to the NBA Finals. and I got Anthony Edwards as the Western Conference Finals MVP. Okay? So that's where we at with it. If you an NBA fan in the chat and you thought it was going to be these 4 teams, well, I can't say OKC. OKC was, but if you know, definitely if you thought that the conference finals were gonna like involve these 4 teams, if you predicted that, or you say you predicted that, you's a motherfucking lie. You's a motherfucking lie. You know what I'm saying? And for me, this is the part, you know, this is I feel like this is the reason why we love sports, bro, because you know what I'm saying, it's so unpredictable. You never know what's gonna happen. Like that last series gave us some dope basketball. I mean, that last round gave us some dope basketball. You know what I mean? The way that Knicks Celtics series, you know, transpired, you know what I mean? Especially those first 2 games, and then the excitement that we seen it bring the New York fans and the team, and just like that shit was dope. Sim boy, what's going on, Sim boy? Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? So that shit was just dope. And then the Indiana Pacers in the Cleveland Cavaliers series. You know what I mean? It sucks for the Cavs, but like the way the series progressed, and especially that game 2, when the Cavaliers definitely should have won that game. How the ball ended up in Tyrese Halliburton's hand again after that missed free throw. And I said this, soon as he got control of that ball and they were down 2, I'm like, oh, he going for the win. He going for the win. There's nothing to lose. They already up 1-0 in the series, so they already came and took home court advantage. They won game 1. You feel me? Sim boy say, I'm a Warriors fan. Me too. I'm a Warriors fan too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a basketball fan overall, so I ain't mad. Plus, Steph got hurt, so it's a built-in excuse with that. Like, I rest a little bit easier knowing that, you know, if Steph don't get hurt, we most likely advance. And then lastly but not least, I mean, I'm greedy as a fan, but I mean, how greedy can you be, bro? Like, we done won 4 championships in the last 10 years, my nigga. So like, I'm solid. I'm not even tripping. You know what I mean? I'm happy to see other motherfuckers, you know what I mean, doing some shit. You know what I mean? We you know what I mean? We'll have another shot at it next year. You know what I'm saying? So, but fuck was I saying, bro? I forgot what I was saying before that. But oh, that's what I was saying. That boy, Darrell, injuries are a part of the game. Oh, 1,000%. I agree with you. I'm not saying they not. That's a part of it. That's one of my arguments, is that that's a part of the journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a war of attrition. Who can be the last man or the last team standing throughout all the rigors of a season? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it as like, I'm just I am saying it as the excuse, but I'm not saying it as like it's like I'm saying it as an excuse, but I'm not saying it as an excuse. Like I totally understand what you said. I agree with that. Injuries are a part of it, so you have to factor that in. If somebody get hurt, Somebody got hurt. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? So I totally agree with that. I'm just saying that, I mean, dude, come on now. Like, it's fucking Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? That changes the trajectory of the series, period, point blank. There's no, like, they want to, and Anthony Edwards, he is a legend slayer. He's been slaying the legends. He did KD last year. He did Jokic last year. LeBron and Luka this year. You cannot genuinely put Steph Curry in that, bro. You can't. He didn't play. You know what I'm saying? And even Anthony Edwards said that. Now, if you want to say he's a legend slayer as far as Draymond and Jimmy, okay, I got you. But I mean, as far as the best player on the team, you know what I'm saying? You can't count Steph in that because he didn't play. You know what I'm saying? So that one is like a TBD, to be determined. You know what I'm saying? To be continued type shit. But yeah, injuries is totally a part of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, we got to be, I'm just saying as a fan. You know what I mean? Because anybody that's a fan, I don't know who you a fan of, the real Darrell, but whoever you a fan of, I can guarantee if the best player on that team got injured, you would definitely be saying that. I believe that you would be saying, yeah, injuries are a part of it. But you definitely would also be saying, I mean, come on, dude, our best player got hurt. So that is just, I mean, that don't mean that whoever won didn't deserve to win. You know what I mean? That just mean that they caught a break. That's all it is. Sometimes you need that in championships. You need a little luck. You need to catch breaks. You know what I'm saying? Warriors definitely caught some breaks in some of their championship runs. So I'm not here to say, but yeah. The real Darrell says, I do think the run for the Warriors is over with. Warriors need to add some legit size to their team. Jimmy Butler wants to coast and then play in the fourth if the game is close. I mean, yeah, the whole thing about it being over, it's never over, bro. I've learned my lesson with saying stuff like that about all-time great players and things like that. I learned my lesson with that with, like, Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the longest, they were saying it's over for the Patriots and this and that, and the dynasty is done and this and that and blah, 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 blah. And they did go 10 years. They did go 10 years without winning the championship from 2004 to 2014. However, they did go to 2 Super Bowls in that time. They just lost both of them in 07 and 011. And then, and they have been to other countless conference championship games. So they were still a successful team, but people were saying that. And then all that happened is once they start winning Super Bowls again, they just kept winning them and kept winning them and kept winning them again. And then this nigga Tom Brady went to a whole nother team and won another one. So I'm just saying, obviously it's going to be easy for somebody to say, for me to say this, because I'm a Warriors fan, but I'm sorry, dude. Like, the championship that we won in 2022, nobody thought they thought it was over after KD left. So one thing about, like, dynasties and all-time great players is that it's not over until it's over. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that the Warriors is going to win another championship. You know what I'm saying? It might be over as far as winning championships. But I know once Jimmy came to the team, they were one of the top 3 or 4 or 5 best teams in the league. The eye test proves it. The stats prove it. The numbers prove it. Everything shows and proves it. So I believe that if they're able to get a whole year with that, which they'll have a whole year now of this iteration of Steph, Jimmy, and Dre. They'll have an off season. They'll have training camp. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that they'll have an overall better record next year, which will give them better seeding and just I talked about this earlier. It'll just make it better for them to be able to make a deeper run. You know what I'm saying? So, and this year, like I said, I know we talking about the injury, but I'm just saying, hypotheticals. I'm just saying, I understand we got to go off what really happened in real life, but if we just going off hypothetical, if Steph Curry doesn't get hurt in game 1 of the second round, a game that they ended up winning, and he only played 13 minutes and had 13 points and was doing some special shit. You feel me? If he doesn't get hurt and they go on and win this series and they're in the Western Conference Finals, I mean, that's like, you never know. That's the reason why I said, like, I'm not going to predict. Like, we got to stop, counting great players out before they're really out, you know what I'm saying, and done. You know what I mean? Now, it ain't going to be easy. It's going to be harder. Motherfuckers got to stay healthy. The West is stacked and all that, but it ain't no unbeatable teams, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Warriors are just as good and can beat anybody in the West. You know what I'm saying? If they're able to stay healthy for the most part, we know some players is going to miss games and stuff like that, but if they're able to overall stay healthy for, the majority of the year and go into the playoffs next year relatively healthy, they can make a run, bro. They can make a run. You never know how it's going to pan out, the matchups, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know. So I'm not going to, like, especially me being a fan of the team and have seen it. Like, I know a lot of people say that from a distance, but, the Warriors this year was a tale of two different teams, maybe even three. They started out 12-3 after the first 15 games and was the number 1 seed. Then the next 40 games, they was like 500, 20-20 or 20-21. Then they got Jimmy Butler and, ended up going like 26-7 or some shit like that. So fucking they were like a tale of 3 different teams. You know what I'm saying? And just this year, that last iteration shows that it's not over. You know what I mean? So they're banking on, let's bank on some health and getting a little luck with that and seeing what we can do. And then see what happens. Curry goes Golden State. A ghost of a chance at this stage of his career. I think the front office is scout making money and selling the dream of a championship. Kuminga is out of there. So check this out. Now, one thing that you did say that I agree with when you said they got to get bigger down there. We got to get. My thing, what the Warriors need is, for one, they need a backup point guard. They need somebody that, it ain't got to be somebody that play like Steph and all that, but they need a solid backup point guard, somebody that could play like a Sean Livingston role type, or like what Chris Paul was last year or something like that. They need something like that. Then, yeah, they need some size. Somebody like a Steven Adams or something like that. They do need some size down there. It ain't got to be like somebody that's like a low post like scorer. It just need to be somebody that can run the court, protect the rim, get putbacks and alley-oops and get rebounds. You know what I mean? And just be a presence down there. You know what I'm saying? So they need to get a little bigger down there. And then they got to get some fucking shooting, bro. I'm sorry. They got to get some fucking shooting. Because when Steph Curry went out, it's like I'm like what the, I'm like, damn, bro, can't nobody shoot? You know what I mean? And Buddy Hield would be like the second best shooter on the team, but he's streaky with it. You know what I mean? So when he ain't on, he ain't on. You know what I'm saying? But nobody else could fucking shoot. It's like How the fuck? It almost felt like Steph Curry, and it just shows you what Steph Curry is to the team. But at the same time, in the same breath, it's like when Steph Curry is not there, it's like everybody else forgot how to play basketball too. Everybody else forgot how to shoot. It's like y'all did make it to the NBA without Steph Curry. Like, what? How did you get to the NBA? Do whatever you did to get you to this point. This nigga ain't don't play no more when y'all motherfuckers act like y'all forgot how to play basketball. So that was pretty alarming. You feel me? And so fucking I was just looking at it like, so that's another thing. They gotta get some shooting. They got to get some shooting. You know what I mean? Just some motherfuckers that can, when a team is making a run, that can just, it ain't even gotta be threes. Just somebody that can hit a little mid-range or something, just get a bucket. You feel me? But then you said, you also said the front office is selling the dream of a champion. They're not selling the dream of a championship, bro. Like, you got to understand, this is a team that has won 4 championships since 2015, bro. Like they have the formula. They like, and I understand, bro. Like, what happens is that fans and stuff like that, like people in the media, like the media gets, they start narratives. We understand that the Warriors are at the back end of the dynasty. I'm not saying that this shit gonna go on forever. I understand that. But what I'm saying is the media that wants to start to put the narrative of, oh, you know, they're old and, you know, they at the back end and all this other stuff. So then it gets the fans to start believing it and thinking. It's like, bro, like, the Warriors front office feels like they have, as long as they have Steph Curry and he's still playing at a top 5 player in the league type of level, they feel like they have a chance. You know what I'm saying? And they do. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean that they're going to win it. Only one team is going to win it every year. But they have the evidence that shows them that when the team is healthy for the most part, they're still one of the best teams in the league. They're not the team that they were when they was in the prime of the dynasty, but they are still one of the 6 or 7 teams in the league that does have a realistic chance of winning a championship when everybody is there and healthy, and you know what I mean? Even if it's just off pedigree, off the fact that they the dynasty of this era. So they're not selling a dream. You know what I'm saying? They're literally trying to win another championship, you know what I mean, while they still have Steph playing at this level. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but they're trying to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because they've done it before, and so they feel like they got the formula. Everything you need a little luck though. Everything got to fall into place. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I just I've learned my lesson with counting out great players that have shown over and over again that they know how to get this done. You know what I'm saying? And they feel like they have the evidence from this year. The Warriors front office, everybody, like they all feel like, we understand injuries are a part of it. However, if we had a little bit better luck with injury, in particular the Steph Curry injury at the time that it happened, they feel like they would still be playing right now. And then everything that you're saying right now would be mute because they would still be playing. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have a little bit of injury luck and all that, man. And you know what I mean? I've been watching Steph Curry my whole career. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I believe. So, okay, look, George. This is what I'm going to say. Okay, all right. So you say Steph is old, man. It was only a matter of time before fatigue injury like that happened to him. I kind of agree with that, right? But look, so you are right if this is something that's gonna like because this is the first time he ever had an injury like this his whole life. You know what I mean? So that's obviously saying that you know, when it's a, what does they say, when it's a soft tissue injury like that, that's basically your body telling you like, bro, you overworking me. You know what I'm saying? I'm being overworked. I need some rest. I need to chill out for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Whatever part of your body, you know what I'm saying, is but I'm saying this. I'm saying that the whole Steph Curry is old, like all the old stuff, it's overblown. The reason why is because now, like I said, if the hamstring is gonna be something that's gonna linger, meaning he gonna have to worry about this for the remainder of his career or whatever, then yeah, like if he's gonna have hamstring injuries, then there's like it's you all the way right. It's going to be different. It's not going to be the same. The reason why I say that is because that proves my point of what I'm about to say is I understand as far as basketball years, and what we look at the age, like he's older. But this is one thing that we got to understand. 35, 36, 37, 38 years old nowadays in professional sports, it's not what it was 10, 15 years ago. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? So Steph is 37 now, but what I'm saying to you is that before the injury, he's 37, but does it look like he was playing like a 37-year-old player? That's all I'm saying. Steph Curry is one of the elder players in the league now, but his style of play never changed. He's still ripping and running up and down the court, all around. You know what I'm saying? Never stopping. So I'm saying the Steph is old thing is overrated because he don't play like that. He don't play like some old man that can't move around and stiff and crippled and just trying to get through. He don't play like that. He's 37, but he's still playing like he's 27. You know what I mean? Now, your body will let you know, yeah, you may be playing like you're 27, but you actually are 37, bro. So that's why he got that hamstring injury. But it's not, that's an injury that he'll be good, bro. You know what I'm saying? He'll be good. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm not saying that they're going to win a championship and this and that and blah, 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 blah. But I'll be damned if I say that I don't think that they have a chance, or if they one of the teams one. I'll be damned if I'll be somebody that feels like the Warriors aren't one of the 6 or 7, maybe 8 teams. Maybe 8 is too much, but one of the 6 or 7 teams that actually have a chance to contend for a championship. You feel me? They still got a chance because they got him and they got Jimmy. You know what I mean? And Dre played at he was a defensive player of the year candidate. So he's still playing like one of the top, if not the top defender in the league. You see what I'm saying? So they still got action, bro. You know what I mean? The coach, Steve Kerr, still one of the best. So they still got action. You know what I mean? Somebody said, why was I talking about the Warriors? I was talking about the Warriors because somebody asked about it. But for one, this Snax on Sports, we bounce around. We talk about basketball. You know what I'm saying? It's my shit. I talk about whatever fuck I want to talk about. You feel me? So if I want to talk about the motherfucking Washington Wizards right now, bitch, I talk about the Wizards. You feel me? But this what happened. You know what I mean? This is why I be liking doing this shit, because you'll start on one subject and then it just bounces around. You feel me? But let me see. The GOAT Bakri say who I'm rooting for. To be honest, man, out of all 4 teams that's left, you feel me? I want to see the New York Knicks win a championship. That's what I want to see. I would love to see the New York Knicks win a championship. You feel me? So that's what I'm going for. But if they don't and somebody else win it, if Indiana win it, if OKC win it, or if the Minnesota Timberwolves win it, I ain't mad. I ain't mad at all. George say, I'm not gonna lie, Julius Randle made Draymond look real old too. I disagree with that too. It's like, bro, imagine Anthony Edwards don't play at all in that series. And then it's a trickle down effect. So then you'll see how the rest of the team looks. You feel me? So listen, man, the Timberwolves won the series. They won. It's all good. I'm not trying to take that away. All I'm saying is sometimes things happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? Things happen. You feel me? I'm willing to bank and put my money on if you put the Minnesota Timberwolves at full strength, healthy against the Golden State Warriors at full strength. I'm pretty confident in banking on the Golden State Warriors winning that series. You know what I'm saying? That's just me though. You know what I'm saying? But Julius Randle did his thing. I ain't taking nothing away from Julius Randle. Julius Randle did his thing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he made Draymond look old. I just think that, you know, they didn't have their best player no more. And so the Minnesota Timberwolves had the advantage. And they were just a better team. And then sometimes, you know what I'm saying, it may seep into your conscience. You may not. It's just a lot of things that happen, bro. Basically, overall, we know for sure is that the series would have went different had Steph Curry not gotten hurt. Period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? So that changes a lot. That changes everything. You know what I mean? But regardless of whatever, whether Julius Randle outplayed him, made him look old or whatever, that still don't take away from the fact that that's just how the season ended. Okay, bet. But that don't mean that Draymond ain't still one of the best defenders in the league. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That don't mean that if they was to meet up again in the playoffs next year, it don't mean that it's going to go the exact same way. You know what I'm saying? So they got the upper hand this time. They caught a break. Our best player, one of the greatest players of all time, sustained the injury and got hurt. Okay, cool. And they took advantage of it, as they should. And they still playing. You know what I mean? More power to them. Shout out to them. You know what I mean? I'm rooting for them to go to the final. So I ain't mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, for me as a Warriors fan, I ain't tripping. We good. We going to be all right. I feel like we going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? Going forward. And if we don't win no more championships, if we don't win a championship, another championship again, that's cool, bro. It's cool. I done seen these motherfuckers win 4. I done been to 4 championship parades, bro. I done been to 4. So I'm good. It ain't no big deal, bro. You know what I'm saying? This ain't supposed to last forever. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. You know what I mean? Let's see if Julius Randle end his career with 4 rings like Draymond. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he won't. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. he got 4 to go to catch up. That's all I'm saying. You feel me? So Draymond good. They good. You feel me? We solid. We solid. But as far as the conference finals, man, they start tomorrow. You feel me? It's going to be dope. We got OKC. Who we got tomorrow? We got OKC and OKC and Minnesota tomorrow. That's going to be dope. Caleb Taylor said Pacers winning it all. Hey, I ain't mad at it. Now that right there would be a hell of a motherfucking consolation prize for all you motherfuckers all these players that voted Tyrese Halliburton the most overrated player in the league. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that'd be like, y'all motherfuckers would be stupid and feel stupid as fuck if the Pacers win it all. What y'all niggas out? A Dumbarton Bridge behind me. You feel me? The real Darrell said OKC is gonna win the chip. Hey, I wouldn't be mad at that either. I wouldn't be mad. This is gonna be one of the most interesting conference finals in both conferences in a while, just because, like, we can predict all we want. You know what I mean? We just don't know what's gonna happen. We never know what's gonna happen, even when it's a team even when the Warriors was in their heyday. You know what I mean? And you knew that they was gonna win the series. You still don't know for sure. The game still got to be played. But like I said, that's the dope part about this year's conference finals, is that there's no team that's like, oh yeah, this team for sure gonna win. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we can predict, but we don't know for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because all these teams are new to this situation. Yeah. Carl Lemke says Pacers won't win it all. Knicks will make the finals, but I don't know if we can beat OKC. Hey, Carl, I'm rooting for y'all, bro. I'm rooting for the Knicks. I want the Knicks to win it all. You feel me? I definitely want the Knicks to win this series. Shout out to the Pacers, though. Like I said, I ain't mad. But I definitely want that. You feel me? Carl said, thanks, we made the impossible happen so far. Bro, that last series, y'all made my, like as a fan, that brought me so much joy to see that. You know what I mean? I'm not no super Boston Celtics hater or nothing like that either. Like, I'm a Warriors fan. We beat the Celtics in the championship a few years back, so I ain't mad at them. You know what I'm saying? But it was good to see the champs go down, and in the fashion that it happened, though, especially those first two games, being up 20 points late in the game and blowing both leads. That was like euphoria. You know what I'm saying? To see them just choke them games down like that and just wet the bed and crap all over themselves. That's why I love the playoffs. The real Darrell says the pieces on the Thunder fit, and when they got Caruso, that solidified their bench and defense. I agree. Like, I look at the OKC Thunder as the team that's most like a team like the Spurs or like the Warriors. You know what I mean? A team that's like, super like buttoned up. They're a team. They're just, you know what I'm saying? Now the Warriors are a little bit different because of Steph Curry, so that they brought a lot of excitement. You know what I mean? In the style of play. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of look at OKC as similar to like the Spurs, to where their style of play is kind of like bland. You know what I'm saying? Like it's dope because it wins and they're a great team, but it ain't a whole bunch of excitement to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like they just play good basketball. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I look at OKC. George said the only weakness OKC has is if they have a bad shooting night. Other than that, they're all around a great team. Yeah, I agree with that. Um, yeah, if they have a bad shooting night and just like in the Denver series, it just feel like sometimes I don't know if it was just a little bit of inexperience. I mean, they experienced now, but you know what I'm saying. They still young. You know what I'm saying. So I don't know what it was, but I just feel like at some points against Denver, you know, when in moments when I thought that they should like really dominate or really, uh, display their dominance over the Nuggets, they just couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Now they won the series. That's all that matters. You know what I mean? Win, advance, and move on. So that's all that mattered. But it just showed me that regardless, man, of I know they won 68 games and all that, anybody can be beat, bro. Anybody can be beat. You know what I'm saying? So, but all around, if they play to their potential, they are a hard team to beat. You know what I'm saying? Carl Lemke said, I was shocked when it happened. I couldn't believe it. Captain Clutch came through. Man, that was like, especially when it happened in game 2. I'm like, all right, this ain't gonna happen again. I just knew it wasn't gonna happen again. I'm like, they not finna blow another 20-point lead. I'm like, all right, they done blew it. You know, it's like 6 or 7 points right now, but somebody gonna hit a shot. Somebody gonna, you know what I mean? And they end up blowing the fucking lead again. And then for Jason Tatum to not even get a shot off. You know what I'm saying? And then Mikal Bridges with 2 straight games of just lockdown defense when you absolutely had to have it. You know what I mean? Because being down 1 point, you don't even need a 3. You know what I mean? So it's fairly easier to get that bucket. You know what I'm saying? And he shut it down 2 games in a row. So yeah, for the Knicks, that's at that point. Even when the Knicks won game 1, I was like, all right, the Celtics blew that one, but they'll bounce back. I still had the Celtics winning. Once they blew game 2, I said, oh, they're not coming back from this. They're not coming back from this. You feel me? It just ain't gonna happen. You feel me? So, yeah, that was a dope series right there. That was a dope series. Shout out to Jason Tatum. Unfortunate the injury and all that, but yeah, Mikal Bridges, man. Mikal Bridges, he turned back into the Phoenix Suns. Mikal Bridges, you feel me? The defensive player of the year candidate, you know what I mean? Mikal Bridges. Carl Lippy said also throughout the year, everybody gave him shit because he was bad, including myself. But when it mattered, he came through in the clutch. This is why, listen, we do this as fans, bro. Like you talking about out there, we do the same. Like Warriors, all of these fans out here, they're spoiled now because they're accustomed to winning. You know what I'm saying? So all they do, bro, is talk shit. All Warrior, like on local sports radio out here, all they do is talk shit about everybody else except for Steph Curry. Steph Curry is the only player that get a pass. And he ain't perfect, but he's Steph Curry, so I get it. But from the coach to Draymond to role players, it's like we got to understand why role players are role players. It's because they're inconsistent. That's the reason why they're role players. If they were consistent all the time and they brought their A game every single night, they would be star and superstar players. But they're not, so they're role players. So you got to expect, you know what I mean? But in a series, I've seen it happen to where a player that you don't expect can have a big game. Like you got to get 4 wins. So you expect in a series, in a 7-game series, you expect for your big guns to win you 2 to 3 games. You know what I'm saying? But then you might have a game where, you know what I mean, a role player or two steps up and give you some unexpected production. You know what I mean? That without that production, that game, you probably don't win that game. So they help you get one, and then you'll have another game where somebody. So you know what I'm saying? Like that's all you need. You know what I mean? Your star player is gonna get you at least two of the 4, and then you need some role players to help you get that third one, and then the 4th one is everybody doing their thing. You know what I mean? So that's usually how it happens. Um, Celtics went from the real said Celtics went from healthy to sick and injured in the blink of an eye. Yep, that's how it happens, bro. That's how it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit changes quick. Now look, with that injury to Jason Tatum, that instantly changes the outcome for the Celtics next year. Automatically, the next season is affected because of the type of injury that he got. He probably gonna miss the whole year. You know what I'm saying? They can still be a good team, but they're not gonna be as good without Jason Tatum. They just not. Jaylen Brown is a great player, but and they're a deep team. Although they saying it's gonna be, you know, probably some it's gonna be some one or two changes. So maybe 1 or 2 of the players that's there right now may not be there, but then again, they might not make no changes and just pay the luxury tax or whatever. You know what I mean? The apron or whatever the fuck they call the shit and say fuck it. We just gonna. They may not have no choice now with the injury. They may need to keep everybody. You know what I'm saying? And try to do it like that. But yeah, man. So the Celtics is already the Celtics season next year is already affected. You know what I'm saying? Already. Yeah. The Knicks have to win it all, or else beating my Celtics is a shrug of the shoulders. The real Darrell says. I mean, I kind of feel what you're saying there. You know what I mean? But, you know, at the same time, I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel what you're saying, but you feel me? It's like you beat the champs, but if you don't win it all, like what you know what I mean? What did you really do? You know what I'm saying? So I kind of feel that, but still, you ain't gonna be able to take this feeling away from the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? It's just you just not. You know what I mean? You just not. You ain't gonna be able to, even if they don't win it all. You know what I mean? They feeling good right now, big dog. They like, yeah, nah. Say whatever the fuck you want to say. You know what I'm saying? You ain't finna take my joy. You feel me? They gonna say, Knicks fans gonna say, yeah, that sounds like something that a mad, bitter Celtics fan would say. You know what I'm saying? Carl Lemke said they already talking about trading Porzingis again. Yeah, Porzingis, you know that shit that you pulled down the stretch. I don't get that. You know what I mean? What the fuck? I mean, like I said, God forgive me if he end up, if whatever sickness he had end up being, more serious than what it was or whatever. But it's like, how you come down with some type of sickness at this time of year, all of a sudden you just can't play. You just sick, and it's keeping you from, you know what I'm saying? I just don't be understanding this shit. You know what I mean? That's the type of shit that get your ass traded. You feel me? All of a sudden when we need you the most, you sick. Fuck you mean you sick, nigga? Okay, nigga, take some motherfucking Tylenol or something, nigga, and get your ass out there. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? The real Darrell said KP was not healthy in game 1 and 2. He has had the viral infection since the second half of the season. If he was healthy, Mitchell Robinson is unplayable against Boston. Okay, like I said, I don't know. I don't know what he had. You know what I mean? The viral infection, I don't know. I don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? But, the real Darrell says, name a city that has given a team a parade. Name a city that has given a team a parade for coming close to winning a championship. Nobody, but I'm just saying, shit, the Knicks will damn near do it in New York. Like, bro, like New York, they'd damn near throw their ass a parade for they'll be like, yeah, we know, yeah, we just gonna, hey, we proud of y'all. You know what I'm saying? If they, I'm telling you right now, what the Knicks have done already thus far, they proud. They proud. They I'm telling you, they proud of it, man. You know what I'm saying? They proud like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like they damn near ready to throw a parade. You feel me? What? Hold on, bro. Yeah, they damn near ready to throw a fucking parade. Where the fuck that motherfucker go, man? Big ass fucking moth in my shit. These motherfucking bugs out this motherfucker. Jada was the draft rigged? Nah. Duarte Thomas said Jada was the draft rigged. I don't believe so. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's just the way it went. You feel me? That's just the way it went. You feel me? Yeah, once they want to start if they want to start rigging shit and all that, then they finna start fucking with the integrity of the sport. You can't come back from that. You know what I'm saying? You can't come back from shit like that at all. So I'm not a real strong believer in the conspiracy theories with games being rigged or leagues being rigged. Like I said, I'm not talking about motherfuckers that go rogue, like Tim Donaghy. He did that on his own. That ain't had nothing to do with the NBA. You know what I'm saying? He was doing his own thing that had nothing to do with the NBA. And once they found out, they swiftly got his ass up out of there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. You feel me? That's all that is. Listen, for doing what they said can't be done, that's a big stride. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's how the Knicks is looking at it. They looking at it like, shit. You know what I mean? Y'all need to say what the fuck y'all want to say. You feel me? We sent y'all motherfucking ass home. Yeah. So call it how the fuck you want to call it, man. I'm finna go the other way. Fuck this. This shit. I'm leaving Facebook, headed to the headed around. But yeah, though, man. My fault. Let me see what y'all saying. I know a city. The real Darrell says, I know a city, Central Florida, had a parade when their football team went undefeated, and they claimed they were the real national champions of college football. Them niggas said, fuck that. Y'all ain't gonna take this from us, you feel me? Y'all wanna say this and say all that? Nah, fuck that. We'll throw our own motherfucking parade then, bitch. You feel me? That's some funny shit. Carl Lemke says, progress takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day. It sure wasn't. We're better this year. We're better this year than we were last year. And the year before. True. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks, yeah, y'all definitely got something right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all definitely got some special shit going on right now. And yeah, they was talking about Giannis and all that. And I'm like, man, somebody said, I heard somebody on the radio, so I forgot what I was listening to, but I heard somebody say, if the Knicks win it all, I think they said that on First Take. I think it was on First Take this morning. Somebody had asked, like, if the Knicks, I think they was at Markieff Morris or whatever, the Morris twins, he was on there, one of them was on there, and he asked Stephen A, you know, Stephen A, a Knicks fan, he was asking him if the Knicks win, but then they also are able to get Giannis, because let's say he want to be there or whatever, would you do it? So because it means you're going to have to. So if you win a championship, that means that, you know, you good enough to win a championship. You feel me? So it's like, do you want to mess with that? That's what he was saying. Like, but now you got a chance to get one of the best players in the league. You feel me? Do you want to mess with that? You know what I mean? My thing is, I'm a team person, bro, and I'm like, for one, I'm saying this, okay? For one, I'm saying this. That would never happen anyway, because Giannis ain't that type of player. You feel me? Giannis ain't that type of player. Giannis ain't gonna see a team win a championship and then be like, oh yeah, all right, I want to go over there now. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna do that. He don't have to do that. You know what I mean? He ain't like Kevin Durant. That's for one of these old desperate ass motherfuckers that want to just steal an easy championship from somebody. You know what I mean? Just because they scared of what a motherfucker gonna say if they don't win a championship before the end of their career or whatever. So they just sell their fucking soul to get a little easy championship like KD did or like LeBron be doing. You feel me? And Giannis doesn't have to do that because, for one, he already got a championship. So now it's just, now you just want to stack more on top of that. See, once you did what Giannis did, or what Steph did, or what Jokic did, you know what I'm saying, or what Kobe did, or what Jordan did, or what Duncan did, you know what I'm saying, or what Dirk did. When you do that, and you lead a team, lead a franchise to a championship that when you was drafted to that team, they wasn't, you know what I mean, they wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit mean more. I'm not taking away from nobody championship. A championship is a championship, but all championships are not weighed the same. That's just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion. But when you do what Giannis did, you don't have to chase rings. That was my point. You don't have to chase rings. So Giannis don't have to chase no rings. You feel me? Giannis don't have to bounce around, going from here and there and there and there to chase rings because he don't have none. No, he already won one. So once you won that one, now you good. Now just, you know what I mean? That's why I said I wouldn't be surprised if Giannis don't go nowhere. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if he end up somewhere. I wouldn't be mad at him if this is the decision you want to make, the decision he wants to make. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like his best chance at winning a championship is going somewhere else, go somewhere else. I ain't mad. But at least he already proved at Milwaukee first. You know what I mean? And he may come to the conclusion that, hey, you know what I mean, to put the right shit around the boy. You know what I'm saying? So I can go ahead on and, you know what I mean? I went and I brought them a championship. So I did my job on that end. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me go somewhere else. Let me experience something else and try to go see if I can go build a championship team somewhere else. So he would at least get that much, you know what I'm saying, of a pass or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. But like I was originally saying, that I would have to think about that because I'm all about winning. So I'm like, damn, if we just won a championship, I know you got to get better. It's all about getting better. But I'm like, damn. Okay, yeah, we got a chance to get Giannis, but we just won a championship. We don't want to try to run that back. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to try to run that back. You know what I mean? And see if we can repeat. You know what I mean? And do that thing over again. Because sometimes just bringing in somebody who's supposed to be a great player or whatever, sometimes it don't always end up how you think it's going to end up. For example, look at the team Giannis is on right now. Okay? There's an example of that with the team that Giannis is on right now, which is the Damian Lillard situation. Remember when it was noted that Damian Lillard was when the news broke that Damian Lillard is going to the Milwaukee Bucks? Oh, Damian Giannis, it's going down. Championships in Milwaukee, yeah, woo! They finna do the damn thing, boy. You ain't gonna be able to stop them, Damian Giannis. Oh man, it's going down. And look what happened. No championships, bro. Not even close. The team got worse. If you ask me. Okay, and why? Because it's not about just bringing in a name. Okay, the team got worse because why? They let go of Drew Holiday. I don't think it's a coincidence that Drew Holiday went over there to the Celtics and then they won the championship. You know what I'm saying? Because he was on the team that won a championship with the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Drew Holiday was on the team for the Bucks that won the championship. So I think that was a mistake. And I also think it was a mistake when they got rid of Mike Budenholzer, the coach. You know what I'm saying? Why you get rid of him for? You know what I mean? He was the coach when they won a championship. Now, I don't know if it was something between him and Giannis or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? But if it wasn't that, then yeah, I don't know why you would get rid of Mike Budenholzer. That don't make no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying my point is that when Damian Lillard came over to the Milwaukee Bucks, the talk was, hey, Milwaukee finna, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they finna be like that. You know what I'm saying? They finna be like that. They wasn't like that, man. And they not like that. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't actually got a little worse. You feel me? So, I'm saying, going back to the Knicks thing, do I want to gut my team that just won a championship and just to bring over Giannis? Ain't no guarantee. You know what I mean? But we know we got to win the formula already. You know what I'm saying? With what we got. So do we want to break up a winning formula to go get Giannis? And now you can pair up Jalen Brunson with Giannis, but now you don't got Mikal Bridges. Now you don't got Cat. Now you don't got Hart. You know what I mean? You done lost some draft picks. You know what I mean? So I don't know, bro. I don't know if I would do that. But like I said, it wouldn't happen anyway. You know what I mean? Just in real life, because Giannis ain't going to do that. Giannis ain't finna wait. They ain't finna be like, oh, they just won a championship. All right, let me go over there. So that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen in real life anyway. Let me see. Carl Lemke said all the teams here this year weren't supposed to be here at the beginning of the season. Bet. That's true. Yeah. Carl Lemke said, I think KD said it best. The Knicks didn't have an identity or a good culture. And then this year, he reversed and said, we finally have an attractive culture, and that's why. But see, I don't agree with that. I do think that they had the right culture. He just didn't want to go. See, like, you know what I'm saying? That was a mistake for him. It would have been better to go to the Knicks than go to the Nets. You know what I mean? If you listen to what Stephen A. said, he they let Kyrie talk him into going to Brooklyn instead of going to the Knicks. They should have went to the Knicks. KD with the Knicks? Like, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I disagree that oh, they didn't have a good culture and all this other shit and blah, blah, blah. You bring the good culture by bringing yourself over there and winning. The culture with the Knicks is good now because they're winning. Nothing changed. They still got the same owner, I believe so, in James Dolan. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden he's you know, like it's the same. You know what I mean? They talk so much shit about him, you know what I mean, when the team was bad. You know what I mean? They're not talking shit about him no more. It ain't got nothing to do with him. It's because the team is winning. You feel me? So I disagree with that. With, you know what I'm saying, with KD. KD's just a bandwagon ass motherfucker. He's not a leader. You know what I mean? Because what's the culture with the Phoenix Suns right now? You went over there and they worse. They worse now than they was before they got you. And you supposed to be Kevin Durant and this and that and one of the greatest scorers, and he scores so smooth and this and that. Y'all couldn't even make the fucking play in. So I don't want to hear nothing from Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant got 2 of the most easiest championships that any superstar could ever get. You know what I mean? And it's my team that I'm saying this about. You know what I mean? I was happy he came. Hey, thank you. Thank you for helping Steph Curry secure his legacy. You know what I mean? But Draymond Green told your bitch ass we didn't need you. Told you to your face. He said, you's a bitch. We don't need you. Okay? You helped and do your job, but we helped you more than you helped us, brother. And all they did was win and proved it. Even after the nigga left, they thought it was over for the Warriors then. All they did was just win another championship after the nigga. And then the championship that they won, the team that they beat in the finals, is the team that swept Kevin Durant and the Nets out of the first round. The same year, the same team. And locked up Kevin Durant in the first round. Jason Tatum locked up Kevin Durant in that first round. Locked him up. And Kyrie Irving was there and played and wasn't hurt. Played the whole series. So, and when they got to the finals, they didn't lock up Steph Curry. He was the finals MVP. He went for 40 in the fucking deciding game 4. They could end up going down 3-1. That nigga went for 41. Said, nah, I'm finna tie this thing up 2-2. We going back to the crib. You feel me? We gonna go and get a win. And then game 6, we gonna come back to Boston, bop them niggas on top of the head, and I'm gonna be doing this in the third quarter. I'm gonna be going like this. The game already gonna be over. You feel me? We finna get number 4. You feel me? So I don't want to hear nothing about Kevin Durant. I don't give a fuck nothing about what that boy talking about. You know what I'm saying? He's a great player. I give him that. But I don't want to hear him talking about nothing that got to do with culture. You know what I mean? None of that. You know what I'm saying? You've made cultures worser. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Carl Lemke said, you better have a great culture to attract players to your team. At least you guys already have a great culture that's been established for years. But like I said, the whole culture thing is overrated. It's true. Like if you look at the Miami Heat, they do have it's a culture. You know what I'm saying? But when we talk about the Golden State Warriors, the culture is Steph Curry. Meaning, so it's not all him. He didn't do it all himself. Okay? Ain't no championships without Klay Thompson. Definitely ain't no championships without Draymond Green. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And Steve Kerr also did what he was supposed to do, because before Steve Kerr, they won a championship in his first year. That wasn't by accident. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry went from an all-star level player to an MVP level player when Steve Kerr came over and implemented his offense. You know what I'm saying? So, ain't no championships without Steve Kerr either. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that, what the fuck was I saying? I'm saying that still, and saying all that, the culture is because of the team has won so much. That's the culture. You know what I'm saying? That's the culture. Because as soon as you start losing, ain't nobody talking about no motherfucking culture. All of a sudden that culture is like all of a sudden the culture went away now. You know what I mean? The culture didn't go away. The team's not winning. That's all it is. You feel me? Now, like I said, there is a little bit of something to it, to where it's like all culture is like, okay, there's a way we do things around here type shit. So, yeah, the Warriors do have that. You know what I'm saying? The Miami Heat do have that kind of aura and energy of, yeah, there's a way that we do things around here. You know what I'm saying? But it still all relates to whether the team is winning or not. Period, point blank. You feel me? Carl Lemke said, when you get too much star power, they begin to clash because everybody needs the ball in their hand instead of just playing their role to further the success of the team. True. even though I do think, not to even keep going back to the Warriors, but I do think the Warriors did a good job when it was when KD came over there. I do think they did a good job in showing how you do supposed to, or how you're supposed to maybe take a little bit of a step back. Still do you, but everybody take a little bit of a step back so that the whole team could be better. You know what I'm saying? Because they did do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you're right. Normally that's what happens. You feel me? Like, to be honest with you, you don't need all of that star power, bro. That just happened during this era of, like, I'm not saying during this era, that's the first time you had, like, what was are called super teams and stuff like that, because those 80s Celtics and Lakers teams, those were super teams. It's just that they were organically put together. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like to conspire to all of these players to get together because we want to stack the deck so much to make it so unfair, you know what I mean, to where it's just so easy. You know what I mean? They wasn't doing it like that. It was just, you know what I mean, they just built the teams the correct way. You know what I mean? But you don't need all of that, bro. At a lot of times, all you need is, in order to have a championship team, okay, you're definitely going to need at least one all-time great player. You know what I mean? I know there may be, you know, incidents, you know, or what's the word I'm trying to use? There may be certain scenarios where it goes against the norm, maybe this one time here or this one time there or whatever, but for the most part, you're always going to need at least one all-time great player in whatever that sport is. Okay, let's just say we're talking about basketball or football. You're going to need, you know, let's just talk about basketball. You're going to need at least one all-time great player. It would be helpful to have two, though. If you got two, that's all you need. Everything else you can fill in around it. That's what happened with Kobe and Shaq. Okay, you had Kobe and Shaq, who are two all-time great players. But go back and look at those rosters and look at the rest of those rosters. Yeah, they had some solid players. Rick Fox, Robert Ory, Derek, what's his name? Derek Fisher. You feel me? Like, they have solid role players. I'm not saying that they didn't. But if you go back and look at some of those rosters in its entirety, bro, like, they were just role players, bro. It was players like Chris Mim and like I said, Rick Fox was good for it, but I mean, it's Rick Fox. He was just a role player. You know, Robert Ory, he ended up being on a lot of championship teams, but he was just a role player. He hit big shots. So his name is synonymous with clutch and big shots and stuff like that, as it should be. But he was just a role player. You know what I mean? But these teams weren't just littered with 4 and 5 and 6 all-star players on a team that's all-time greats and all that, blah, blah, like what LeBron James did play with. Like, I mean, come on, man. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? That's all you need. An all-time great player or two, and then fill in the rest. Then you can have another, you know, mid-level, somebody that has the potential to be great, but it's, you know, it's like, you know what I mean? And then everybody else is role players. And that's all you need. If you get it done, you get it done. If you don't, you don't. And you try to retool and get better. But, you know what I'm saying? That's all you need, bro. Dylan Perry said that's why Pacers work. Yep, most definitely. Carl Lemke, yeah, it wasn't a bunch of people that got together to go on one team. It will start that work together as a cohesive unit for the better of the team. Period, point blank. Dot Perry, not one person, 5 people over 14.5. Dot Perry, Pascal, and Holly at 18 points per game. The other 3 starters at 14.5. They dominated the 1 seed. You don't have to have an all-time great to make a run. No. This is what I'm saying. Not to make a run. I'm saying to win a championship, right? And so, to me, Tyrese Halliburton is he's making his name right now, right? So, but he's that level. Like, if they do that, if they do this, they're not gonna. I don't believe that that the Pacers are gonna win a championship without Tyrese Halliburton performing, having a great performance that he should have. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to perform that way. So then they'll have that on the team. He doesn't seem like he's that right now, but that's how you become it. Like, we gotta remember. I remember this because I'm a fan of the Warriors. It's the same thing that happened with Steph Curry. He had to prove it along the way. You know what I'm saying? So, like, even that year in 2015 that they won the championship and he won his first MVP, they still had to prove it along the journey, though. So, like, going into that finals, it wasn't just like, oh, yeah, okay, the Warriors are going to win. They weren't that team yet. They were still learning how to win. So that's where the Pacers are at right now. So I'm saying, yeah, I'm not saying, what I'm saying is, in order for you, at this point, they still haven't won the championship. So they still got to win 2 more rounds to win. They still got to win 8 more games to win the championship. So I'm saying, if they happen to lose before then I'm still proven right. You know what I mean? Now, you said make a run. Make a run is different than winning a championship. Winning a championship is making a run and completing the deal. Making a run is just making a run. You went deep, but you know what I mean? You didn't ultimately get the job done. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that would still prove me to be right, which is that in order to actually win a championship, okay, I'm not saying all the time. Like I said, I did say that. I did caveat it by saying that I understand that you have like the 04 Pistons, okay? Now, when we want to speak along the lines of, when we say all-time great, we can say that Chauncey Billups had an all-time great performance, and he is an all-time great player too, but he's not an all-time great player on the level of the all-time great players. Okay, so I will say that's one of the situations where, like I said, they didn't have like a all-time great player and they won a championship. And so I get that. So I'm saying, I understand not everything is like 100% absolute. I'm saying the majority of the time, though, look at all the other championships. All we got to do, I can go backwards. Okay. Let's go last year. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they got 2. Okay, now I know they wouldn't be considered like all-time greats on the level of like Magic Johnson or Larry Bird or Michael Jordan or Kobe or LeBron or Steph or something like that right now, but still, Jason Tatum is like an all NBA first team player like every year. And he's been that way for like 4 or 5 straight years and shit. Eastern Conference Finals and like, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna count them as so last year you got, even though they did it as a team, but you got great players on there. Okay, and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Then the year before that, come on, man, Jokic, all-time great player. Year before that, the Warriors, Steph, all-time great player, top 10, top 5, wherever you want to put him at. The year before that, Giannis Antetokounmpo, all-time great player, the Bucks. Year before that, 2020, LeBron James, Los Angeles Lakers, all-time great player. The year before that, 2019, Kawhi Leonard, all-time great player. The year before that, 2018, you got KD and you got Steph. 2017, KD and Steph. 16, LeBron James. 15, Steph. 14, Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard, Manu Ginobili. 13, LeBron, D Wade. 12, LeBron, D Wade. 11, Dirk Nowitzki. 10, Kobe. 9, Kobe. 8, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce. Okay. 7, Tim Duncan. Okay. 6, D Wade. 5, Tim Duncan. 04. Then that's when you get the Pistons. So I done went back 20 to 21 years. And you only find one team that didn't have like an all-time great player on it. Okay. So I'm saying in order to win a championship, most of the time you need at least one. And even if, like for the Pacers, the story hasn't been written yet. So I'm predicting that if the Pacers are going to win the championship this year, Tyrese Halliburton is going to perform like that in the finals. He's going to have one of those performances that we look back at, like what D Wade did in 06. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of what I'm saying. And as the story gets written, then he'll end up like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. But to just make a run, oh yeah. There's been a lot of teams that just made a run. You feel me? All right, my bad. I didn't miss what the chat saying only after I said. Dylan Perry, the young Warriors, no one had Steph as an all-time great then. Nobody. That's my point. That's my point. That's exactly my point right there. You know what I'm saying? Only after said and done, he has done now. That's my point. You have to grow. Like, that's what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying is that, like, we didn't know that's what Steph was, but he turned into that. But that doesn't take away the fact that we didn't know that that's what it was. That don't take away from the fact that he was all-time great. You see what I'm saying? So he wasn't all-time great. It was like that. It's like that for every player that has won a championship. You feel me? Or that was seeking to win a championship. Is that, like, you have to prove, like, you gotta prove it. Some players already came into the league highly touted and they just needed to fulfill that. Other players like Steph didn't like come in like highly touted. He didn't come in like, oh, he gonna be a bum or something, but he didn't come in. Nobody expected for Steph Curry to like have the type of career that he's had. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that doesn't take away from the fact that he's an all-time great player and you need those to win championships. So I'm saying if the Pacers win, yeah, right now we don't look at Tyrese Halliburton as an all-time great player. But if he wins a championship, he's going to be looked at as, he's still not going to be looked at like as like top 10 all time or something like that, but he's going to be looked at now in a different light now. So now all you got to do is add on to that. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I don't believe that the Pacers are going to win the championship by just straight team ball. Like they don't do like that's like the Spurs version of it, to where they just killed you with like the team shit. But even with that, they still had all-time great players on the motherfucker. Tim Duncan and David Robinson and Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker, you know what I'm saying, and Kawhi Leonard. They still had all-time great players. But I don't look at the Pacers as like that. Like they don't, yeah, they play team-wise, but they don't play team-wise like the Spurs. Like they offense ain't like just fluid like that. You know what I'm saying? But overall, they just have a good team. Yeah, I mean, Pascal, I mean, you said Pascal has potential to be all time. I mean, yeah, but I mean, Halliburton's ceiling is much higher than Pascal. You know what I'm saying? Pascal is a solid, he's a Pascal's a solid player. He's a solid player. He is a solid player. You know what I'm saying? And Jalen Rose said something recently about Pascal like last week that I agree with. He just don't get the credit. Like, you know what I mean? He's a solid player, but he's still not like, he's not like an all-time great player though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, to me, Tyrese Halliburton is the one on that team that, see, Pascal is, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's all you need. You need somebody like a Tyrese Halliburton who has the potential to be like a superstar, right? You know what I'm saying? And then after that, like somebody like a Pascal who's like on his best day, like an all-star level player. You know what I'm saying? I believe he's made an all-star team or two. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, you got Miles Turner. I believe he's made an all-star game or two for his role and stuff like that. So you got three really good players that don't necessarily have like super big names, but they're really good. You know what I'm saying? This is their second straight year in the conference finals. So they're doing something right. Not only that, something else that gets slept on too about the Indiana Pacers, their head coach, Rick Carlisle. He's an excellent coach. He's an excellent coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been around since I've been a kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Won a championship with Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks. That was one of the biggest upset finals wins in NBA history. You feel me? They only won that one, but that's a hell of a one, the only one to have. But still, he's a great coach. Rick Carlisle's a great coach. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the Pacers are definitely, you know what I mean? But Tyrese Halliburton is that dude. It's just that playing in Indiana and his name, this is the reason why he was voted the most overrated. His name is circulating a little bit. They like, a lot of players feel like his name is circulating a little bit too much. That's why he was voted the most overrated player in the league. But he's showing us the reason why he's not the most overrated. So he is a superstar. And if they win a championship, his name is gonna be up there more than it already is. He still doesn't have that household name just yet. If they win a championship, he's gonna have a household name. Straight the fuck up. Period, point blank. You feel me? It ain't nothing to debate about that. You feel me? So, yeah. think it will. I agree with you. That's what. Dylan Perry. Okay, we on the same page. Okay, for sure. Don Hector said Paul George is a top 5 all-time player. Okay, yeah, sure. Don Perry. PG wasn't a closer though. Justin Matusami. Hey mate, from the UK here. Watched every game this year, and the best team we have seen in the playoffs so far is Indiana. I see them taking it all down. Okay. Shout out to all my people out there in the UK, man, in the United Kingdom, man. Salute to all my, United Kingdom people. You feel me? Good day, mate. You feel me? Yeah. Carl Limke said the best teams are always trying to improve, no matter how good they are. True. Beeman Boy 81. Let's go, Knicks. I'm rooting for the Knicks. Ben the Kid. Good take. Okay, I forgot what I was saying. Ben the Kid, who I got winning MVP. Shea finna get the MVP. Mercurio. Los Pacers. Gunnaran Fossil a Los Knicks. Los Knicks, son. Suwari. For sure. Off the top, man. All languages is accepted here. Dylan Perry, Rick a genius. Dylan Perry, good take, man. I like your energy. Oh, right on, Dylan. Yeah, nah, man. Rick Carlisle is Dylan or Dylan, my fault for mispronounced. But Rick Carlisle is a great coach, bro. People forget. I forgot he was the coach of the Pacers until I was reminded like a couple weeks ago, like, damn. Rick Carlisle is over there. You know what I'm saying? No wonder why they so damn good. You feel me? Don Johnson said, my boy, you look smacked as fuck. Hey, yeah, they be. We off this. You know what I mean? We off a little bit of this. You know what I'm saying? Knicks play too slow. Pacers will beat them in 6. That's going to be a great fucking series, man. I can't wait till Wednesday night to watch that. I can't wait till tomorrow night game, too. I'm ready to see Anthony Edwards again. I want to just see if Anthony Edwards just just straight dog walk these motherfuckers and shit all on their ass. You know what I mean? By his damn self. Julius Randle gonna have something to say about it though. But Anthony Edwards, this guy's something else right here, bro. You feel me? This Anthony Edwards guy, I think he's got a little something here. You feel me? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But nah, it's gonna be dope, bro. It's gonna be dope. Conference finals kick off tomorrow, so I'm finna definitely be locked in. You feel me? Finna definitely be locked in to see what it is. But yeah, man. Papa J, what up with it? What up, Papa J? I've been on this bitch for a while now. I was getting ready to jump off. Good to see you though, man. I was just giving my little rundown on the conference finals. You feel me? On my predictions and stuff like that. I got the Knicks beating the Pacers in 7 games, and I got the Timberwolves beating OKC in 6 games. Just my predictions. You know what I'm saying? Papa J, you see, I got to do an episode on Brock Purdy now, too. Got to start getting back into football. Football finna be on its way. You see, Brock Purdy got that money. Told you Brock Purdy was going to get that money, man. Brock Purdy got that money. You know what I'm saying? They went on ahead and paid Brock Purdy. Yiddy. 1.4, 1.2, 985, 986. Yeah, though, man. The Vanguard, too. What the hell? Y'all be on this motherfucker. Yeah. Papa J, for sure. Yeah, we're going to talk Purdy on the next one. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna get my NFL takes ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Because we finna, hey, it's on its way back. We coming back. It's still May though, so we still got a long time, but you know what I mean? Next month is June. Once July get here, we on it popping. August preseason is here, so May, June, July, August. We got 2-3 months. But yeah, though, shout out to everybody that tapped in with their boy on the live. You feel me? I'm finna jump off this thing though, man. To the next one though, man. We finna see conference finals start tomorrow. Let's see how it go. I'll be back to recap the first game or two in a day or two or whatever. I may do a Brock Purdy episode tomorrow. You feel me? Just kind of get my thoughts on that. You feel me? And everything surrounding that. But yep. We just fucking with it, man. I'ma holla at y'all though, man. I'm gone. Snax on Sports. I'll be back with another one.